Hello and welcome to Buildings of Tomorrow. My name is John Lester, and in today's episode we'll be talking about using data analytics through the commissioning process. I'm joined today by Tyson Soutter, a Global Business Development Manager for digitalisation at Siemens Smart Infrastructure. Tyson, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, John.
Give us an idea of how we can use data analytics throughout this commissioning process.
So when you build a new building, there's a huge amount of parties involved. It's a very complicated process, costs a lot of money, and to measure and track it, you need constant verification and checks. So what we normally see is that the building owner or the builder will engage in contractors, but there needs to be some sort of check. So that's when you bring in a third-party consultant. Consultant and sometimes multiple consultants will come in to say, yeah, this is the design, this is how it's operating, everything looks great. Sign it off, we can go from there.
To make a correlation between what the original intention of the building was and what you actually get delivered.
Exactly, and this is how it's always been done. So, and that's fine, but it is very much a point-in-time sample of is it working or not. It nearly can be ideal scenarios.
On handover day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which, you know, they've built up to this time, you'd hope they can nail it during this period. But if we have all these systems in the building and they're logging all this valuable sensor data, why not collect it and verify that it's actually operating not just in this one handover period, but in every scenario? So once you start logging data points at a small increment, you can say, okay, something's happened here. There's been a change in occupancy or a change in heat load or operation hours or store fit outs, or there could be anything. It could be base building or someone's moved in. If you're logging the data during all these kind of volatile situations, you can actually see, is it working to design? And it becomes very easy to identify issues. So the traditional payback period for these digital services, if you're 2 years or 3 years, still very healthy. But normally in the commissioning phase, it's within the first month, because you can't identify this amount of issues without using some sort of smart tools.
Some kind of help, right?
Exactly.
And am I right in understanding that a building itself is never so dynamic than in these first few months as everything is being delivered and commissioned and people start to work and move there?
It's just so many moving parts. You can't blame any one person. It's a complicated thing. So you turn it on, there's builders, there's design, there's construction, there's hydraulics and mechanical and electrical, and then you need to bring it all together and make sure it works in an automated fashion. Of course, it's going to be quite difficult.
And also, when a building is designed, this is often 4 or 5 years before an actual building is delivered. And at the time, sometimes you don't know what a space will be used for or who will be occupying it. So often the use of a space and the heat loads and demands for that may be outside the original intention.
Yeah, we actually find that a lot of the changes suggested, once you get through the defects component, is not against scope, but just saying, okay, we could do this better. Because once you're logging the data, you can be a little bit more aggressive with how you control the building. There's always that room for error to make sure, let's get this up and running and finished. We don't want any risk on delays or handover or any downtime. So the data builds confidence that we can control the building better.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you all for joining us here on Buildings of Tomorrow. Please feel free to comment, share and like this episode, and also ensure to subscribe to us here on this channel. We'll see you again soon.